Hey, what's good, my fellow masters? Finally, Nero Fest has come back to NA Global. And it's a grand Nero Fest this time around, but more importantly, it's a lottery event, so better prepare all of those farming teams. For those that have never participated in a Nero Fest or a lottery event before, then I'll cover what can be expected from it. First off, to be eligible for the event, you only need to clear Fuyuki, so it's pretty much open to new players and veterans alike. And it will run from July 31st through to August 13th, a duration of 2 weeks. I do encourage everyone to take advantage of this event to farm and gather up whatever QP, mana prisms, embers, friend points, and available ascension materials that you may need. If you're relatively new and wondering what a lottery event is about, I'll get to more specifics in just a bit. If you have experienced previous Nero Fests, then no doubt you know what to expect. This will actually be my first one, as the previous two were from before I started playing FGO. As far as events go, the main quest line for Grand Nero Fest is pretty minimal. There is a prologue to start you off, and once you clear that, it opens up the qualifier quests. And as one would expect from the term qualifier, the main gist of this event is basically a big battle tournament that Emperor Umu herself is hosting. The tournament quests, starting with the qualifiers, are a series of event free quests with varying levels of difficulty and drop rewards. There will be 3 rounds to the tournament quests, the aforementioned qualifiers, then the main event followed by the finals. Each round will have an unlock schedule and set duration, with the free quests from each round only being available during their associated schedule. The qualifiers will be available from the get-go and last until August 3rd, 2059 PDT. Following that are the main event tournament quests, going from August 3rd to August 8th. And then the finals will be held from server refresh on the 8th and last until the end of the event. There will be 7 free quests in each round. The novice quests that will cost 10 AP, the 20 AP intermediate, the 30 AP advanced, and then the rest are all 40 AP, expert, hero, conqueror, and the 7th being the champion level free quest. Note that champion is something that's new compared to previous Nero Fests. There are also exhibition quests that should be accessible once you clear a main story quest, the 2018 revival or something to that effect. These exhibition matches are effectively challenge quests, but with the added difficulty of not allowing duplicate servants by way of friend support. So no double Scotty, Castoria, or Koyanskaya for that matter. Plus, to make things even more interesting, reviving of any kind after a party wipe is not permitted. 2 sets of exhibition quests will be available. The first set of exhibition quests are from the Autumn 2018 edition of Nero Fest, and the second set is from the 2019 Autumn Nero Fest. These exhibition quests are time-gated and will be progressively released as the event goes on, starting with the first couple from 2018 Autumn on day 1. From there, 2 more exhibition quests will unlock per day. The exhibition quests from 2019 Autumn Nero Fest will begin to unlock starting on August 3rd. They are also completely optional, so don't worry about having to clear them all if you wish to mainly focus on farming for the lotto. Completing the main quests, well, what little there is of it, will net you 1 SQ. And then by clearing all of the tournament free quests, you can obtain 3 bronze apples, 6 silver apples, and 9 golden apples, along with 300 mana prisms. If you are able to clear all of the exhibition quests, then you will gain various ascension and skill materials, including 2 crystallized lore, and perhaps more importantly, 16 summon tickets. Now, if you are completely new to Lotto events, then here is a general breakdown of how it works. Farm the free quests for the Lotto currency, in this case, Crimson Petals. Use those Crimson Petals to spin or activate the lottery roulette. At the beginning, 20 Crimson Petals will get you 1 spin for 10 prizes. There are around 300 reward items in a prize lineup. So to obtain all the items in one lineup, then a total of 600 Crimson Petal currency will be needed. As long as you have the Crimson Petals, you can keep rolling until all 300 items have been obtained. It's okay to partially clear a prize lineup, go and farm more Crimson Petals, and then come back and spin some more. Once all of the items from a lineup have been claimed, the rewards will be replenished automatically, and you can repeat the process over and over again as much as you desire. Basically, you are just limited to the amount of Crimson Petal currency you are willing and able to farm. After the first 10 lineups have been claimed, From the 11th onwards, you will be able to spin for 100 items at a time, not just 10. So instead of expending 20 crimson petals per spin, it will be 200 petals at a time for those 100 prize items. Though, don't worry if you don't have enough lotto currency for a full 100 spin, it will just spin for the maximum amount of items your currency on hand will allow for. As we can repeatedly claim the lottery rewards as long as we have the crimson petals to spend, let's see what kind of items we can stock up on. The first 10 prize lineups, or commonly referred to as lotto boxes, contain one grand prize each as shown here. The grand prize in lineups 1 through 5 will have the event 5-star craft essence Divine 3-legged race, featuring fellow goddesses of Venus teamed up and a pair I'd totally be cheering for, Quetzalcoatl and Ishtar. This CE provides a one-time gut survival with 1 HP and an NP damage increase of 15%, or 20% if max limit broken, along with all attack scaling. For Grand Nero Fest, it will also provide a 100% event bonus to damage, or if max limit broken, 200%. Divine 3-legged race was used during the 2019 Autumn Nero Fest, so be sure to check your second archives and dust the CE off if you played through that event. Lineup number 6 will provide a wardrobe key for SR Nero's Olympian Gym uniform Spiritron dress as a grand prize. If you already have this wardrobe key, then the grand prize will be a rare prism instead. And the remaining lineups 7 to 10 will each provide an attack gold foe card as the grand prize. An equal amount of corresponding HP gold foes can be bought from the event shop. The first 10 lotto boxes will also each contain the following: 1 secret gem for each of the 7 main classes, 2 magic gems and 2 regular gems for the 7 main classes, 1 golden apple, 2 silver apples and 3 bronze apples, 45 mana prisms, 2 forbidden pages, 2 night medals, 3 heroes proofs, 3 fool's chains, and 3 void dust, 25 4-star EXP embers, 15 3-star EXP embers, a combined 11,100 friend points, and finally a total of 4,440,000 QP. From the 11th lineup and onwards, the prizes remain mostly the same, minus the grand prize, gold and silver apples, and the friend points increase slightly to 11,500. Earlier, I encouraged everyone to take advantage of farming this event, and this is essentially the reason. Lotto events like Grand Nero Fest are an excellent way to replenish your stocks of QP, EXP cards, mana prisms, and all of the gem types for each of the servant classes. Not to mention how efficiently you can gather up forbidden pages, night medals, heroes proofs, chains, and dust, especially the last 3 given how many servants need them in relatively excessive quantities. Thus, lotto events tend to be when masters go heavy on the apple usage to farm the free quests as much as possible. Though, how much you should farm Grand Nero Fest depends on how badly you need those materials, either for your current servant roster or perhaps for some future servants. For me, I'm relatively low on Fool's Chains and Night Metal, so I'll be farming a decent amount. In order to help plan out your apple usage, I thought it would be a good idea to bring up what kinds of materials will be available during the Christmas 2023 event, which is also a lotto. As far as the common stock items go, like class gems, mana prisms, EXP cards, and QP, it's pretty much the same. But as for the Ascension materials, this year's Christmas Lotto events will offer 2 octuplet crystals, 2 refined magatamas, 3 poison needles, and 3 stakes of Wailing Knight per lottery lineup. Plus, there will be an exchange ticket in each lineup that can be used to choose from either a Claw of Chaos, Aurora Steel, or a Phoenix Feather. You may find yourself needing more of these items, and if so, then perhaps saving the majority of your apples for use during the Christmas 2023 Lotto event is the more prudent course. There are a couple of raid events in November, December to keep in mind as well. The Guda Guda Yamatai Koku Rerun and the Tunguska Sanctuary event. While raids don't offer the level of farming efficiency that Lotto events do, they nonetheless can have much improved drop rates of certain gold tier Ascension materials, so some may opt to spend at least a few apples on these raid events. On that note, just how many apples can we expect to gain from the end of Grand Nero Fest to the Christmas 2023 event? Including the apples obtainable from the Christmas event itself, one can gain up to 55 bronze apples, 63 silver, and 64 golden apples. I would say that's a pretty decent amount of apples to get some solid farming in during the Christmas 2023 Lotto. But again, if the materials from the upcoming Christmas Lotto are ones you need more than these Grand Nero Fest ones, then I would try to save most of the apples for Christmas. As mentioned earlier, to obtain the Crimson Petals needed to claim the rewards from the lottery prize lineups, the free quests will have to be farmed repeatedly. Most of the free quests will also drop event shop currency as well, and they are quite fitting for the theme of the event being gold, silver, and bronze Nero medals. The free quests come up in 3 rounds, and remember, each round of the tournament will bring its own set of free quests. So let's say you haven't cleared all of the free quests from the qualifier round by the time the main event round starts. Unfortunately, you will not be able to access those qualifier round quests any longer. Not that big of a deal, but it would be good to at least try clearing all of the tournament quests to obtain their Apple rewards. Now let's take a look at each of the free quests with some drop rate info. The first set of tournament free quests are the qualifiers. For the novice quest with a recommended level of 15, there are just 2 waves with a mixed group of low HP enemies, 2 Lancers and a Berserker in Wave 1, and then a Lancer and a Rider in Wave 2. From the JP farming data that I referenced, which I'll have a link to in the description, the average drops one can expect from here are 8.07 Crimson Petals per run, plus event shop currency of 4.98 silver medals and 5 bronze medals. This assumes no drop bonuses from event craft essences. The level 20 recommended intermediate qualifier also just has 2 waves of a mixed group of sabers, assassins, and a caster. The average drops for this node is 15.8 Crimson Petals per run, along with 9.8 gold and 9.85 silver medals, according to past JP data. Not sure why the image I took from the Phantom site indicates silver and bronze medals. I'm going to err on the side of the JP farming data. Next up is the advanced qualifier for level 40 servants and up. It has 3 waves of mostly saber class enemies, with a Berserker joining in on the final wave. Average drops for Crimson Petals are 25.4 per run, and this should be the node with the best overall drop averages during the qualifier, specifically for bronze medals at 25.03 per run, along with 4.27 silver medals. Again, this is based on the JP farming data. The expert qualifier has a level 60 recommendation. It consists of 3 waves of mostly riders and berserkers, with an archer thrown in for wave 3. Notably, this is where wave 3 starts to have enemies with HP figures 100k and higher. The average drop rates per run for this node are 35.1 Crimson Petals, 6.17 gold medals, and 32.72 silver medals, which is the highest specifically among the qualifiers. The hero qualifier has a recommended level of 80. There are 3 waves of mostly riders with a Berserker in Wave 2 and an Assassin in Wave 3 to try and complicate matters. You should average around 36.8 Crimson Petals here, along with the best qualifier drop rate for gold medals at 32.88, accompanied by 6.53 bronze medals. The level 90 Conqueror qualifier sports nearly all archer enemies, except for a ruler joining in on the fun in Wave 3, so that might be annoying depending on your farming teams. For the qualifiers, this is one of the best places to farm for Crimson Petals, which is the only currency that drops here at an average of 44.9 per run. Scarabs have a 20.7% chance to drop, and Serpent Jewels have a 32.39% chance to drop. New for this Nero Fest is the Champion level tournament quest. This is the level 90 plus node we have come to see more and more of in events. As you can see, the enemy format is irregular with just 1 Berserker enemy for waves 1 and 2. Careful of wave 2 since the enemy has 171,000 HP. Then 2 Berserkers and a Saber in wave 3, all with fairly beefy HP figures, 82k, 102k, and 186k HP respectively. Like the previous node, the Crimson Petals average 44.9 drops per run. But to give more incentive to farm this 90 plus node, all 3 event shop currencies drop here as well in pretty decent amounts. 22.70 for gold medals, 22.64 for silver, and 22.46 for bronze. This node also provides a good drop rate for Dragon's reverse scales at 25.26%, and decent for refined Magatamas at 49.27%, relative to the AP per drop when compared to its regular free quest counterpart. Now, typically, the best free quests to farm are the ones ranked for level 90 or 90 plus, in this case either the Conqueror or Champion quests. But for newer players or ones with smaller servant rosters, try to focus on the highest level node that can be consistently and efficiently farmed without taking an excessive amount of turns. Round 2 brings us the main event tournament quests. The level 15 main event novice consists of mainly berserkers and 1 assassin in 2 waves, Crimson Petal drops average around 8.6 per run, with 4.83 silver and 4.85 bronze medal drops. The level 20 intermediate node for this round will be 2 waves of a mix of berserkers with a caster and archer in the second wave. Average drops were found to be 17.2 petals, 10.69 gold medals, and 10.43 silver medals. The advanced node for level 40 servants has 3 waves, sabers in waves 1 and 2, plus a saber, berserker, and a rider in wave 3. The expected average drops here are 27.9 petals, 4.63 silver, and a main event round topping 26.69 bronze medals. For the level 60 expert quest, we have a mix of 3 lancers in wave 1, a lancer and a ruler in wave 2, then a lancer, ruler, and avenger for wave 3. The likely drop averages here are 37.4 petals, 6.85 gold, and 34.75 silver medals, which is the highest for the main event. The main event hero quest for level 80 servants will feature a mix of sabers and lancers in 3 waves. Crimson Petal drop should average around 39.6 per run, along with the best gold medal drops for this round at 35.50, plus 7.01 bronze medals to round things out. The level 90 Conqueror node features 3 riders in waves 1, 2 riders for the second wave, then a mix in waves 3 consisting of a main rider, an archer, and a caster. Only Crimson Petal drops here, averaging 48.2 per run. There is also a 20.64% chance for Divine Wine to drop, along with a 34.2% drop chance for Horseshoes. Lastly, we have the 90 plus champion main event with an all archer node in a format of 1 enemy in wave 1, 2 in wave 2, one of which has 132,000 HP, and 2 in wave 3, notably with HP figures of 101,000 and 180,000 respectively. You can expect an average of 48.2 petals, 24.37 gold medals, 24.40 silver, and 24.58 bronze drops per run. Skumo mirrors can drop with a 25.05% rate here, along with Eternal Ice at 49.39%. Then we come to the finals, the last round of the tournament quest, which will last until the end of the event. The level 15 novice node has 2 waves of mostly berserkers and 1 saber in the first wave. 8.9 petals, 5.65 silver medals, and 5.57 bronze medals are the expected drop averages per run. The level 20 intermediate final has 2 waves of mostly casters, with an added archer in the second wave. 18.1 petals, 11.1 gold, and 11.15 silver medals per run are what you can expect in this node. The level 40 advanced final features 3 waves of mainly assassins, with wave 3 including a saber. Crimson Petal should average around 30.4 drops per run, along with 4.76 silver, and the overall best drops for bronze medals at 28.4. The level 60 expert node has a bit of a mix with mostly assassins again, but with a berserker in wave 2 and a caster in wave 3. The currency drop averages here should be 40.8 petals, 6.89 gold, and 37.23 silver medals, the best overall drop rate for that particular event shop currency. The Hero Final Tournament Quest, recommended for level 80 and up, features 3 berserkers in the first wave, a berserker and a rider in the second, and for the third, an avenger, rider, and a berserker. You can average 43.2 petals, plus the best gold medal drop rate among the free quests at 37.68, along with 7.37 bronze drops. The rank 90 Conqueror node for this final round has nearly all caster enemies except for the inclusion of a saber in wave 3. Just Crimson Petals drop here with a per run average of 53.2. Foreign God Hearts were found to have a drop chance of 20.92% here, and Forbidden Pages a 35.53% drop chance. Though that shouldn't matter too much since pages are among the LOTTO rewards. Then lastly, we have the 90 plus champion final. It has an all assassin lineup in a format of 2 in the first wave, a 138k HP single enemy in the second wave, and 2 for the third wave, possessing 103k HP and 172k HP. All of the event currencies will drop here with averages of 53.2 Crimson Petals, 25.64 Gold Medals, 25.73 Silver, and 25.59 Bronze Medals per run. Again, all assuming no drop bonuses from CEs. Flaming Oni Lantern Plants were found to have a drop chance of 24.99% in this node. Additionally, Aurora Steel has a drop chance of 49.08%. With the recent additions of Koyanskaya and Oberon, farming the 90+ tournament quest should prove to be easier than before. And as we've seen from the farming data on JP, the champion quests will provide the most overall efficiency in gathering up all of the event currency, Lotto and shop alike. However, if you have already obtained all the necessary event shop currency, then focusing on the easier to farm Conqueror node may make more sense. Ultimately, it will depend on your available servants and your farming preferences. To help with Crimson Petal drops, the 5-star craft essence, Cheer for Master, can be purchased from the event shop. It features Brynhilde sporting quite a cultured cheerleader outfit, but I wonder if she's actually cheering for Sigurd instead. For Grand Nero Fest, this CE will provide a +1 drop bonus to Crimson Petals, which increases to +2 if max limit broken. Its regular effects grants a rainbow buff of 6% across the spectrum, along with 3 crit stars per turn. Unfortunately, no starting NP charge this time, which would have been rather convenient. This CE was obtainable from the 2019 Autumn Nero Fest, so masters who play through that could get quite the jump on their Lotto farming if they still have their copies. There are 5 copies of Cheer for Master that can be purchased from the event shop, but I wouldn't max limit break those until you have gained at least 3 more from random drops of the tournament quests. That way you can maintain a bonus of +5 that 5 individual copies would have provided, naturally with the hope of increasing that bonus beyond +5 with further additional copies from random drops. And try to pick these up from the event shop as soon as you are able and get them equipped on your farming team for those bonuses. Earlier, I mentioned the Divine 3-legged Race 5-star CE grants an event damage bonus of 100% or 200% for an MLB copy. This CE will be extremely useful in tackling the ultra-high difficulty exhibition quests, and can also be used to augment your farming DPS damage output if you're having trouble with some of the higher level tournament quests. From the event's pickup summon banner, there are limited craft essences that can help with event shop currency drops. First up is the 5-star Battle Olympia, featuring Emperor Umu herself looking quite striking in her crimson bikini. I mean, her highly practical battle gear. Battle Olympia will increase gold Nero medal drops by 1, or for MLB copies the bonus becomes 2. Outside of the event, this CE can be quite useful with its all-attack scaling, a 50% starting NP charge, and performance increase of Arts and Buster by 8%. I don't have this CE myself, and I'm kinda tempted to roll for 1 copy for collection purposes. Next is the 4-star CE Food Coliseum, depicting Ibaraki Doji, Julius Caesar, and Tawara Tota absolutely feasting. Pro tip, feeding Ibaraki tasty food is the surest way to get on her good side. Food Coliseum provides a +1 drop to Silver Nero medals, or +2 if max limit broken. It has split stats, with regular effects increasing quick performance by 10%, and boosting healing received by 10%. Lastly, we have the 3-star CE Muscle Cavalier, showing a pumped Rama being supported by Leonidas, Beowulf, and Fergus in a cavalry battle with a completely fired up Martha cheering from the stands. Having this CE equipped grants a +1 bonus to Bronze Nero medal drops, or +2 for MLB versions. Muscle Cavalier has all attack stats, and its regular effects gives a 3% buster increase and an 8% increase to critical damage. All 3 of these CEs were originally from the 2019 Autumn Nero Fest, so use them if you still have them. Now, as you accumulate those gold, silver, and bronze Nero medals, they can be used to purchase lots of goodies in the event shop. For gold Nero medals, you can obtain 15 of each Eggs of Truth, Scarabs, and Gallstones, plus 30 each of Phoenix Feathers and Octoplic Crystals, and a Crystallized Lore to highlight the skills and Ascension materials. To purchase everything shown here, 4,800 gold medals will be needed. For silver Nero medals, of note there are 30 each Black Beast Grease, Chaos Claws, Meteor Horseshoes, Eternal Gears, and 45 Scales of Fantasy. A total of 4,575 silver medals will be required to purchase all that's here. And then the items for using bronze Nero medals notably include 30 each of Tearstones of Blood and Homunculus Babies, 45 Yggdrasil Seeds, 60 Bells of Absolution, man do I need these, and 45 Void Dust to pad out the totals of said dust from your lotto farming, I guess? To buy everything indicated here, 4,075 bronze medals will be needed. The summoning banner for Grand Nero Fest features 2 limited SSRs and a permanent SR. We have this single target Buster Lancer Brynhild. This big sis to the Valkyries can moderately buff her Buster cards and MP damage for a turn. With a rank up, Brynhild also has a 30% NP battery, a 3-turn debuff to an enemy's chance of critical attack, along with a reduction to their MP damage for a turn. She can provide a bit of utility with a targetable 3-turn increase to an ally's star absorption, a 3-turn crit damage buff to complement that, plus heal them up to 3000 HP. Post NP interlude, Brynhild comes up just behind Enkidu and Skaha at MP1 for base MP damage, non-trait effect of course. She also has a niche, ironically against servants with the Brynhild's beloved trait, doing extra damage modified by the level of overcharge. Her MP will also provide a 3-turn buff to the party's crit star generation by 50%. All in all, I think Brynhild is a pretty solid ST Lancer. With the right setup, utilizing Double Koyanskaya and perhaps even Oberon, Brynhild can be made to loop her NP. And she does incredibly potent damage against those that are her beloved, of which there are quite a few. I think her biggest downsides are the lack of some sort of a survivability option like invincibility or guts, and her steroid buffs only lasting for a turn. Though fortunately her skills cooldowns are not that long. If you really like her but can't quite spare the quartz at the moment, then the good news is that Brynhild will have another raid up in March of 2024, and again in November 2024. Otherwise, if you are just looking for an SSR ST Lancer, I would say save for Melusine's next banner in December. The other SSR on the banner is the AoE Buster wielding caster of the beach, Summer Nero Claudius. Summer Umu can charge her own MP gauge by 50%, buff her attack and defense by 30% each, both lasting for 3 turns, along with suspending her defensive class disadvantage for the same amount of turns, effectively allowing her to only take neutral damage during that period. And she has a targetable one-time guts that lasts for 3 turns, which also increases the target's attack by a very potent 50% for 3 turns. Caster Nero's MP has a couple of effects that activate prior to the damage being dealt. The first is a 1-turn ignore invincibility, and the second is a 1-turn NP damage increase that scales with the level of overcharge. Among her AoE caster peers, Summer Nero at MP1 comes up just second to Leonardo da Vinci, though that Da Vinci figure includes a future buff to come. Caster Nero was my second ever SSR, so I do have a certain fondness for her. Her 50% battery and decent damage output generally made her a good assassin or berserker farming unit. Of course, with Koyanskaya and Oberon, Nero's capabilities are further enhanced and she can be made to 3-turn farm with the right setup. Her targetable 50% attack buff with the guts is no joke, and whether used on Nero herself or on one of her allies, is a nice bit of utility. If you're looking for a good SSR AoE caster, Summer Umu can perform well, especially if you have Koyanskaya and or Oberon to support her. But my biases aside, you should probably hold off from rolling for her unless she is an absolute waifu for you. Under the same circumstances of having Koyanskaya and or Oberon, the story-locked 3-star caster Ku that everyone is sure to have at least one copy of can definitely handle the AoE Buster caster role, and even if you only have him at MP1, he's free. And Summer Umu will have future banners too, one expected in July of 2024, and another in late May, early June 2025, so there will be other chances to roll for her. The permanent SR sharing the banner is none other than the ruler class Goddess of Justice, Astrea. She is a very capable single target DPS unit that has a targetable attack, defense, and MP generation buff, all lasting for 3 turns. She can increase her arts performance for a turn along with gaining a generous amount of critical stars, which is helpful since Astrea can both buff her star absorption and crit damage for 1 turn, while also charging her MP gauge by a flat 20%. Another goddess servant that enjoys pro wrestling, Astrea's MP is a potent arts-based single target type. After an interlude, it ignores invincibility for a turn, activating first, drops 20 crit stars, and does extra damage to enemies with the evil alignment, scaling with the overcharge level. Among all single target servants, Astrea's non-trait effect MP1 damage comes in at a very respectable 11th from the top. I think Estrella is a great unit to have. Outside of her MP, she is capable of fairly significant burst damage with her one-turn crit buffs. And when properly supported, her MP can do an amazing amount of damage, even if neutral, especially if leveraged against those with the evil alignment, of which there are no shortage of in the game. If you're missing an offensive ruler in your roster, Estrella would serve you very well. But don't roll for her on this banner. The reason is simple. The Summer 2023 event will give us a free Welfare 4-star ST Buster Ruler in Summer Da Vinci Chan, and at MP5 at that. If you would like to eventually roll for Estrella in the future, she will have another banner come January 2024, and then in September 2024. Or perhaps she will show up randomly in nearly any other banner, with her being in the permanent summoning pool. Well, that's nearly everything I wanted to cover for this Grand Nero Fest. I wanted to go over the gimmicks of the exhibition quests as well, but I opted to try to do that in a separate video. Hopefully I can get that out not too long after this guide gets uploaded. But as always, I ask for your patience if an exhibition quest overview is something you're interested in. I will also try to post some farming team examples for the 90 and 90 plus nodes, including some budget options for each round of the tournament, so I hope you will all check that out as well. It would be great if any of this event information was helpful in one way or another, to at least make your lotto farming a little bit easier. Please let me know in the comments if you plan to farm this lotto event hard, or if you're going to save some apples for the Christmas event. For me, I usually try to hit 300 lotto boxes worth on my main, but this time I'm going to scale back to 100. If you enjoyed this video for one reason or another, I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe for more FGO content. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, enjoy the Grand Umu Fest. Cheers!